Meanwhile, a German billionaire who got caught up in the Volkswagen short squeeze is dead. Apparently, he committed suicide. CNBC's Linda Behringer has more from Frankfurt on the story. Linda?
Yes, he did indeed commit suicide. Adolf Merkle, he is our German Warren Buffett. He doesn't only invest as much money, he also looks a bit like Warren Buffett. And we had the very sad announcement today that the police confirmed, in fact, that he committed suicide. And the whole story goes back to the Volkswagen share that skyrocketed to above 1,000 euros per share late in October. And Merkel bet the wrong way, and that caused him to lose up to 400 million euros. That's being speculated. That's what sources say. And that caused his investment holding VEM to facing bankruptcy. And in the last couple of weeks, there was a strong back and forth with the banks of VEM to agree on a bridge loan to prevent the bankruptcy of the bank of VEM. And then the two parties decided that first of all, there will be a small bridge loan of 400 million euros. That will be the first part. There will be a second one as the year develops onward. And it all looked as if the company will be saved from a bad faith. And of course now it's being speculated if Heidelberg Cement will have to be sold. VEM owns 80% in Heidelberger Cement. Ratiofarm, a generic drugs maker, is being sold as well. So it's a very, very sad story, and also bad for the shareholders of Heidelberger Cement. The share lost 13% today.
Linda, thank you very much. And another aspect to this story was that, he was quoted as saying he had lived through other financial crises several times, but nothing on the magnitude of this. And he was really, from what I could tell from the Wire reports and quotes from various magazines, he was very much puzzled as to why he could not get the banks to move a little bit, given the large stake that he held in such large infrastructure companies.
Speaks to the degree of the credit crisis.
Absolutely.
It's so eerily reminiscent. Now, this is the second suicide that we've reported on what it was like in the 30s, where we did see an increase in suicides as well. Financial panic has all kinds of ripple effects, which are debilitating in some ways.
We can't even begin to speculate what was going through his mind there, but it's just a tragedy when you find yourself at a point where you don't see any way out.
Or you define yourself by your money or your balance sheet.
For a lot of guys, people who have achieved such success, and I don't know if Mr. Merkle was in that category, the money is not the object. It's the success.
It's the measure.
It's just a way of keeping score.
He was number 94 on the billionaire list.
And to lose that much had to have been just devastating.
He also said he was not sure how he could ever make it back.
Yeah, I mean,
and the responsibility that he felt for the workers of the companies where he controlled a large stake.
Okay.
I think it's the responsibility that he felt.
Look, I know it's a tragedy, and you guys are being very kind, but I also want to point out that suicide is cowardly and selfish, and he left those workers in the lurch and decided, well, if you're going to get out of it, I'm not helping. And that is tragic also. And one thing about capitalism and business is you can renew yourself. And there are quite a few very rich people out there who lost a fortune and went out and made another one. And I just want to point that out just to counterbalance a little bit.
The point is well taken, but again, we have no idea what was going through his mind at this point, But.
To your point, when I interviewed Carlos Slim, and I talked about you've lost $20 billion, he says, I don't think about that. And I said, well, you don't think about that? He says, look, if you were rich tomorrow, would your life change? I said, I would sleep better at night. He said, no, you wouldn't. You would sleep less because it's much more responsibility. So many workers rely on me. It's, it keeps them awake at night.
It's a burden in some ways.
Speaking of which, the Bernie Madoff